It's gonna be off our own merit, bro. And I think it's gonna make me feel good at the
It
end of the
only
day
can more.
that it took nobody but us doing something. We ain't had to co-sign or nothing. It was just literally just our own merit, whatever we did to just show like,
Networking and
hey,
hard
we
work and
we've been there since the
background.
beginning, bro. Yeah, we've been putting in hard work since 2013, 2014, and you can't take that from us.
When you think about it,
Yeah, I do think people
I mean, when
are
you,
doing it.
when you really think about it, I think about it a lot, and I really like try to analyze it when I look around. I don't think there's any black podcast that's for gaming that's even like trumping us. I'm almost positive. I'm checking.
Yeah, I would say the
I
closest
don't think so.
ones are going to be our peers, Game Attack Radio, and then Khalif by himself
Yeah,
with Spawn on Me.
like
But
I just think like the outreach we have too, and like how long we've been at it and shit. I don't
mhm,
think there's anyone that even comes close to trumping us. Like not even remotely close.
yeah, I know the Game Attack Radio been doing it for way longer, so
Yeah.
they have the longer tenure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
And I think
I
from
would
like
have to agree.
a clout standpoint, and then I'd say too, the second thing was like kind of what when we had Fiona and why am I blanking on his name?
Terry,
is it
Tori.
Tori? Yeah, Tori.
Yeah, Torian.
Yeah, Torian. Yeah, when we had them on the podcast, and they were like, yeah, like like how they be moving is like, yeah, well, we have to get on the GI podcast because apparently we're like the gate. I didn't know that apparently, but
Right,
apparently we're
yeah,
like the seal of authenticity for like the black gaming community. There's like if you don't get like a sort of approval from us or something like that, it's like you're not gonna be able to breach into this market that well. So
Yeah,
that
so
was
by
an
the way,
interesting
Ethos is dropping
Hey.
some stuff during our conversation before the podcast. Well, actually, it was
Yeah.
either before or
It
after.
was like a little
we,
bit.
we did a
Yeah,
lot.
it was like a
Yeah,
little bit after.
yeah. So that was kind of an eye opener. I didn't really talk
I didn't
about
know
that
either.
publicly. Yeah, we were all flabbergasted. So just a little backstory. When Fiona and Torian came on, first of all, we didn't know that they listened to us, so we were like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like people from Rooster Teeth actually mess with us.
Yeah.
So that was one thing, and second of all, yeah, the way that they talked about us, what Ethos was saying, they're like, yeah, as far as trying to get people on our side to mess with the new season of Red versus Blue. And we talked about how I haven't watched Red versus Blue in forever, and he was like, yeah, when I talk to a lot of people, that's what they say. And with him basically taking the reins for this new season and trying to do it for us, like having a different soundtrack that's mostly hip-hop or whatever, little changes like that to really appeal to us. They're like, yeah, like straight up, like they want us to watch it. Like they know that the other side will watch it just because it's Red versus Blue. Yeah, they'll get that and just Rooster Teeth period, but they wanted more of us to watch it and support it as well. So for them to say, yeah, like, because they were really like legit doing a press run, and they were like, yeah, like we wanted, we actually asked for us to be one of the podcasts that they talk about Red versus Blue on. And that was another kind of eye opener for all of us. We were like, wow, like they reached out to us. We didn't reach out to them. So that's how that happened. So there you go, man. Some of the backstories of how certain things happen. And that doesn't happen too often. I would like for it to.
Damn.
Well, I think it's more of I think it's more of we I mean you and me had this conversation before where it's more of we know for a fact that there's, and because of references and people like behind closed doors and stuff, a lot of people low-key mess with us. A lot of people know about our podcast and actually like are, but a lot of them are scared to publicly say it. Like they're just like, oh, but like behind the doors they're all like, hey, like low-key, like, oh no, I've been watching y'all stuff for like a long time, or like, oh, I've been messing with y'all, like I watch y'all podcast, I listen to y'all podcasts all the time. But like publicly, you'd be surprised the amount of like actual, like, we're talking like big influencers who actually know about us or watch our stuff, but they just do it very low key.
Yeah, and that's still
It sucks.
something that it does.
Today,
Yeah,
I mean, I know you guys are not in Clubhouse, but I was in there with TBH, and there was a bunch of people saying, they watched TBH back in the day, and they watched GI grow and stuff. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I never hear that, because I'm never around for it. But hearing that, I was like, God damn, like,
Yeah,
it does hit me sometimes. Like, shit.
Yeah, because legit, a lot of the people who mess with us, they've grown up with us. Like you, for example. Like we
we
raised you since you were a little one, and
raised
there are legit other people that were like, yo, I was in high school or going to high school when I started following you all, and I've been following and supporting ever since. And it's like, damn, like first of all, thank you for letting us know that we're old. But second of all, that's cool. That's cool as hell that you all have been supporting for that long.
Yo, what's up?
What up, Ace?
What up, man?
But yeah, like Ethos was saying, like I think about this all the time. How people do watch us in the background, in the shadows. It's like it's like that Westbrook meme of him sneaking and eating some on the side. They're like, ooh, that GI content.
That's been like that for years, especially when GI, more preferably like you, Ethos, and TBH have been getting a lot of brand deals, and since we're associated with GI, or a lot of opportunities that have been happening for you guys in Twitch, I think that's actually broadened the spectrum where a lot of people that we have known or like that we would quote unquote consider our peers have been watching GI for a while, but just won't won't share anything, but they'll know everything about what's going on, like from like 6 years ago to now. Like, oh
Bro,
yeah, I've been watching
I
them
won't even
forever.
say share it. Yeah, I won't even say share. I was talking to Black, about how like we used to think and move around. Like we're just starting to get to like where we're more comfortable or we're reaching out more, in which I think we should start doing more.
Oh
If you
yeah,
think about it, like
absolutely.
if people know us, it wouldn't be too hard just to get in contact with somebody.
I
Yeah, no, it's
agree. I
Ooh, that's
agree.
That's true.
But on the
And then
other
there's the other-
side, but on the
there's the-
on the other side of the spectrum, I think we're also at a point where why don't people hit us up?
We are.
Well,
we're black and
okay,
we're
well,
intimidating.
well, yeah. There's something like that where like it's intimidating to do it. Because if I look at it from the outside in, and especially like my age, if I look up to somebody and I watch them grow as a content, and then I'm starting, I don't know if I feel comfortable doing it if I look up to somebody. I don't know.
Well, no.
It's-
I'm
it's
not
a
talking
weird
about.
dynamic.
He's talking about business. He's talking about business.
Oh, business? Yeah, business is different.
No,
Business
yeah,
is-
Vin. I mean, if
I'm not
you came up looking up to TBH, because TBH, and we joke about this, but a lot of this is true. Like when he started, he did really father a lot of people who you do see today on YouTube, who's black and who's successful. I mean, like Afro is one person. He said he literally started YouTube because of TBH, and a lot of people probably don't know that. But he like legit said that. He said he based his name off of TBH. So like when you hear things like that, you're like, damn, that's crazy. And when you see people, like if you're talking about straight numbers, like past TBH up, but TBH has had such a big of an influence, and then also with GI having a big influence on people, like they're like, man, I've seen people in the chat saying, I wish I had a gang of friends like you all who can make content and laugh and have a good time and just play these games together. Like it's very interesting that like the influence that we have, but on the other side of the token is like for the people who have found a way to get their own success, why don't they feel like they can reach out? I don't get
I
it.
compare it to if we bring it to music. This is gonna sound weird, but hopefully y'all understand. It's like Kid Cudi, like he has a lot of influence in music, and I think just starting now, the younger generation is starting to speak up about his influence about it, and you see like the Travis Scotts talking about it. You see other people just talk about like how Kid Cudi influenced not just their music but like the genre of music.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just I just think it's at a point where like if you feel some type of way like we are just not going to talk to you, like we're Hollywood, any negative stigma that you might have about us. Yes, I know that our mantra, and we've been saying it for years, is GI versus everybody, but that really wasn't to everybody. It's if you were being a fuck boy back then, because like I said, that started really because like of mostly like people from the hate community coming at us, people who we've never talked to ever in life talking about they pulled up on us at E3, people making videos about us talking about we weren't at EA Play, people in the comments talking greasy. It was a culmination of things like that. TBH getting his random beats with people who again he's never talked to. People talking about they're gonna beat him up at VidCon. People talking about they're gonna beat him up at E3. Things like that. It's like when you see all these things, of course, like the majority of times we didn't respond, but when we like made GI rants talking about that type of stuff, we did that really for them. It wasn't for literally everybody. And I hope that, our peers that have been watching us over these years didn't really take that to heart. It was like, oh man, they're really, they're truly about themselves. And they're not going to mess with anybody else. Cause again, that's not true. We have a lot of people who we fucks with. Like I've known a lot of these people for years, and
you shouldn't have to worry about that though.
And I always share that content.
Real people, the people that are, well, okay, let me say this. The adults won't take anything like that personal. The ones that see that they want to move forward with business, is also work with people that are of color like themselves, they're not going to take it personal. The ones that are weary about it, or I don't know, maybe they got something to hide. So
yeah, I don't know. It, like I said, it could be a combination of people are still, they still may feel some type of way about how we move. It may be some rumblings in the background. So. I mean, I hope not.
I highly doubt it.
I hope not. I hope not.
When it comes to other creators,
bro, we're tame.
We don't have time to consume. Like, if you're not creating, then I mean, you're wasting time when you're a creator. That's how sometimes I see it, and I talk to Black about. Even when we talk about knowledge of like clubhouse and shit, it's like we told each other, like, listen, we could be in the room all day and be taking in on that knowledge, which bringing it back to the GI stuff, they could be consuming the content, or they could just go out and do what they want to do, which we're talking about. And they're probably focused on themselves. I think everybody's like that.
Yeah, maybe. But like I said, when we go back to like when we want to collab or something, like if we're trying to invite a guest to the Game Illuminaughty podcast, or Ace is trying to reach out to somebody for a Game Reflex or something along those lines, it's like, when does it get to a point where we get tired of reaching out, and it's like, well, why does anybody reach out to us for their stuff? Like if they have a podcast, or if they want to play a game and collab or something, why does that not happen more often? That's really what I'm kind of getting at, because it's nothing for us to reach out to all of the peers who we've gathered over the years, but I'm just saying, like, when it's time to give back, especially if you end up having a bigger following than any of us, why don't you do that?
It is weird, but then at times I do understand it too. Like in the current Twitch meta right now, of like Rust and Among Us, like who in GI were playing those collaborative games, like trying to collab, because Among Us is a collaborative thing.
And we've seen who's been collabing.
Yeah,
it's been pretty much the same clique.
Like yeah. So like, I see both sides.
I think it's more about the podcasting though too. Like that's the bigger side.
Yeah, but like that, I'm saying like goes with like everything. Like that's just one example of Twitch too. Like I don't think at times we put ourselves in position to collab, or what I mean? Like when it comes to Twitch, it's different. It's different because like even now, like we play. I bring up the Among Us stuff because it was an easy thing to do. Like if we just tried it, and I remember I was talking to Siggy about it. Like we should gather up Bliss, all the people who played Among Us with us. It would have been a very easy thing to do, but we just didn't do it. What comes with the Rust thing, we may not even like the game like Rust, but it's not about liking the game. It's about honestly getting those eyes on you, and that's why. And I've been like watching videos about the Rust thing, and it's we can't complain if we're not putting positions out there. Even now when we're playing Call of Duty, like we usually just play by ourselves, which is our circle. You know what I mean?
Nah, I get you. You make some valid points, at least as far as like the game is games are concerned. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like, maybe I'm just speaking for myself and not GI. But when it comes to like collabing with video games and stuff like that, it depends on when you're trying to collab with a video game. Because if there's so many games out right now, like if you rewind it back, like maybe like a couple of months ago, when everybody was, next gen was finally just coming out, and then you had, of course, a lot of people still streaming Among Us. I'm gonna be real with you, fam. I ain't out here trying to stream Among Us when I got Spider-Man Miles Morales to take care of, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
That's why I brought up the game thing though, because I brought up the Rust thing. It's like it's not us about liking the game. It's not us about like we say it all the time. Like, is it the game that's entertaining the chat, or is it us? So like, I would always think about it like if you look at the TBH and him collaborating with other content creators on Call of Duty Zombies. He played the drawing game. I think it was yesterday. I mean,
Man,
you never
I
thought he
would
would play like the guest. Siggy was in there too. And when I see that shit, that's why I meant like when recently I see us collaborating a lot more and doing stuff. That's what I mean when I don't like even
I got
like, with game
PTSD
stuff,
from
you know?
that shit, bro.
You guys are black too.
I just want to remind people. I just want to remind
yeah,
you guys
no.
that we did collaborate before, and that gave us PTSD, and that's probably why we
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
collaborated since.
Very,
So,
that's
yeah.
also true.
Also true.
I'm not gonna say, yeah.
Also true.
Remember, I literally stopped playing Rainbow because of the last time we had a collaboration. So
yeah,
like
we weren't doing that
Had them
anymore.
higher
Yeah.
contract killers.
yeah, the hired killers came after me and Anon, and it was not fun. I'll tell you that
Dog.
much. So,
I stopped playing Rainbow for good.
it's
I know
funny,
some of y'all went
yeah.
back, but I
that
stopped playing
shit
it for
literally
good.
PTSD'd me from playing
Remember
Rainbow
that
for years.
PUBG
so.
tournament?
And the PUBG
That too,
stuff,
yeah,
too.
we did
God,
try
we got
that.
set
And the
up.
Hyperscape shit. It's like when we
Oh,
try
yeah,
to
we
do
Yeah,
did.
it, it's just
Hyperscape.
like,
Yeah, we get
it's like
set
we
up
just
every
wanna have
time.
fun,
man.
and we
We
get
get set
set
up.
up
We get set up.
every
We get
time.
set
We
up.
get set up every time. It's like we just want to have some fun, do the entertainment stuff, and we can't do it because we got to deal with goddamn sweats and people breaking rules and cheating and shit. It's like, come
Professionals
on,
or ex-retired professionals and whatnot.
yeah,
Yo,
come
it's
on,
funny
bro.
too.
Yeah.
You guys brought up earlier about how like how a lot of people have been watching GI forever. So I think Chaos was in there too.
Yeah, I brought it up.
Oh,
to them.
you brought it up and how like
Yeah.
like it was just crazy. Like everybody was like, yeah, I've been in here for like 13 years. Way to make me feel old, which is true. This man's been on YouTube platform for 13 years, bro. Like we were in college 13 years ago and whatnot. Now look at us. JG got a kid and married. I got a kid and married. Man, bruh, it's crazy.
You said what happened at PUBG? That was like one of the first like Twitch rivals
ultimate
things
setup?
that we
It was
that
ultimate
we did, and we got set up by one of our managers because he was like, it's just a bunch of streamers, nobody
creators.
super professional. and we turn around and
That was a lie. That was a lie.
yeah, they had some killers in there, bro. I ain't trying to hear that. Like, again, you can't say that we're not trying, especially now. But I just think a lot of situations like that, like we're just out of our league. Like these people have so many hours to just play a game and get good at it, and then on top of the skills that they already might have at whatever genre game that they're playing, like it's just an unfair advantage.
Damn, JG, you said we're old men.
I mean, we are. I mean, we can only do so much, man. We can only do so much. So.
Man, people got family bills and all that stuff to take care of. And let's be real, like besides TBH, the only most consistent streamer we got, and who has always been most consistent streamer for the most part, has been Siggy. Other than that, it's like we got time and a place where we can do things and collab and try to schedule it. If not, daddy duty, husband duty, all that, and business individually too. So it's like, come on now.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But like I said, I think that at this point, if this stuff ends up manifesting with this podcast stuff, and we end up getting either on Joe Budden Network or something else, this ends up turning into something else this year. It's gonna be off our own merit, bro. And I think it's gonna make me feel good at the end of the day that it took nobody but us doing something. We ain't had to co-sign or nothing. It was just literally just our own merit, whatever we did to just show like, hey, we've been there since the beginning, bro. Yeah, we've been putting in hard work since 2013, 2014, and you can't take that from us. Instead of somebody saying, hey, just give this person a look, like some other big creator or whatever. It's gonna be all off our own strength, bro. It's gonna be off the own strength.